It seems that finally, left-leaning political leaders and media are appreciating that we need our cops, period. No ifs, no buts, no reimagined departments with less officers and more social workers. Just, we need more cops. That's a good thing, right? Tide has officially shifted to the point where fewer and fewer of our political leaders continue to openly demean our police officers and talk crazy about defunding the police. A clear sign of this? Even the Washington Post now acknowledging how badly we need our men and women in law enforcement. Back in June of 2020, the Post's editorial board published an editorial entitled "Defund the Police is a call to imagine a safer America. We should answer it." The board, in its piece writing back then, quote, "Weeks of sustained anger and grief after the police killing of George Floyd have reignited a public debate over public police brutality in the United States. Alongside demands for police reform, another demand has surfaced: defund the police. This provocative slogan, at its most constructive, represents a welcome call to reimagine public safety in the United States." Yes, they actually called defund a welcome call to reimagine public safety. Later, even writing a series of articles on that theme, an opinion piece published days later in the New York Times was even titled, "Yes, we mean literally abolish the police." The Washington Post editorial board, though, concluded that ultimately the call to defund the police should be understood as a call to reinvest in communities and explore new solutions. Now, I have to concede I don't even understand exactly what some of that means. But now, nearly 3 years later, with cities around the country seeing higher rates of violent crime, peaked during the pandemic and have yet to fully recede, communities are ousting two progressive prosecutors in favor of more law and order candidates. Many Democrats who once backed defund are moving to increase police budgets. Basically, people have come back to their senses. And the Washington Post, now seeing where the country has gone and is going, apparently doesn't want to be left behind. So they've now come out with an editorial. "Why police officers need to be in D.C. schools." The board writes, "Many cities yanked officers out of schools while reassessing policing after George Floyd's 2020 murder. However well-intentioned, the experiment has left kids more vulnerable and classrooms less safe amid surging youth violence. That's why a notable number have already reversed course. D.C. should join them." Yes, and the piece points out what most of us already knew, that a majority of staff and parents want more police in schools, especially in neighborhoods where just walking to and from school can be unsafe. And that piece follows the editorial board's declaration last month that D.C. needs hundreds more police officers. Quote, "The Metropolitan Police Department has 411 fewer officers than 3 years ago because of attrition and struggles in attracting recruits. The force is the smallest it's been in decades, with fewer than 3,400 sworn officers, and D.C. is more dangerous as a result." This is a clear shift from an expression of sympathy for defund the police cause and discussions of sort of reimagining community justice, et cetera, to now just calling for more cops. In Washington, D.C., where the Post is based, crime, including violent crime like homicides, are up 25% overall from this time last year. That follows a trend in many cities across the country where crime rates have fluctuated but have yet to come down from pandemic highs for several years. And studies have shown that adding police officers to the force measurably reduces violent crime. It's common sense. We don't need studies to tell us that, but the data is there. It's not just that crime rates fall. In fact, it's been shown that the number of arrests actually drop, suggesting that merely having more police officers present is enough to push down crime. Increased crime rates have also been coupled with historic levels of staffing shortages among local police departments. Low morale, difficulty recruiting, retirements. Our police have been so beaten down and maligned and scapegoated by politicians, activists, and some in the media that it's no longer a wonder that our police forces are depleted. I don't expect we'll hear apologies, but let's just appreciate how far we've come. That does it for us tonight. Thanks for watching. Banfield starts now. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.